Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and today we're starting a series called for the game Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. SONS, as in boys. Let's begin. This one's gonna be a little bit of a short one, that's alright. We've got everything set as far as the audio and the video. One thing to point out here is that on Steam at least there are two launchers for this, so you can only do the gamma and audio in this default of the program, and then there is a separate launcher you can run to do actual VSync and resolution and whether it's full screen or windowed. I imagine that's because this was an Xbox Live Arcade release originally, and they simply patched in a launcher on top of it for Windows PCs and all that. So how the play might be useful to look at, certainly, because it is a very strange way we're gonna play. You rotate the camera with the right bump and the left bump, but then for the big brother, quote unquote, the older brother, to interact, you use the left trigger. To move the big brother, you use the left stick. To move the little brother, you use the right stick, and for the little brother to interact, you use the right trigger. And you're not going to use any of the other buttons on the face or the D-pad or maybe start. Uh, Quite a interesting experiment in controlling two characters, which is kind of funny because I just played a game called Broken Age, which is a point-and-click adventure game where you play as two characters, but not at the same time. Uh, this is definitely going to be a different way. I think generally in video games, both ways are kind of silly and unnecessary, but we will see. Let's play, let's start the game. We don't know anything, so new game. Here's the little brother, I assume, at a grave. I love how it just hopped in here. The question is, do I really have control right now if I hit something? Or is it a cutscene? I would assume it's a cutscene with the black bars at the top and bottom. Just a rose on the gravestone, no writing. Really? Do we need to see this? Do we need to see the boy see his mother drown? Notice they aren't speaking English or any recognizable language. Kinda tacky story writing there. You don't need a flashback to your parent dying in your visual depictions. You really don't. That starts to go into the artificial tugging at your heartstrings, trying to get us to, whoa, what's going on here? A ghost of a younger version of the mother? Or the mother was really short?
Nayi! Nayi!
I
Ata!
assume his name is Nai,
Ata Nayi! Ata!
and Hurry is Ata. And I guess that's their father, and I guess the guy in blue is the older brother. And we're gonna carry him in a wheel cart to maybe a doctor or something. He looks like he's been injured, maybe sick. The camera's pointing us in the right direction. Alright, so this is where the game starts. I didn't have control. Hold triggers to interact. So you have to hold them. That's gonna kill my fingers. Left trigger for big brother, right trigger for little brother. They made another game like this where you were carrying a cart specifically for the whole time. Looks like you can mostly guide it with just one of the kids, though. That seems to be somewhat useful. So I'm moving right now just with the older brother. And it looks like the little brother will just guide fine. Of course, the difference between a effectively two-wheel and four-wheel drive car means a lot. So now I'm controlling it with the little kid, and the older brother's interacting fine. Problem here, though, is if I let go or if my fingers get loose, the little brother or whoever I'm controlling is just going to run away. Early into this game, I have to wonder about this control scheme. It feels like a gimmick. It feels like there's gonna be a game here that's gonna be probably good, but then there's gonna be a gimmick that's going to make it more difficult for an average video game player to play it. And making the game more difficult just so maybe the game seems longer, because I know this is a shorter game. It's not something I particularly want. Here we go. So the little brother cannot pull this. Let's move the little brother out of the way and see if the older brother can. So can the little brother pull it, then the older brother help? No. Okay. So let's switch sides. And then come over here. Now I'm pretty sure we don't move this cart for very long in this game. This is just a tutorial. But alright. I'm gonna heavily favor one kid after another. So we've got to now run over here, I guess. Little area here. Can he reach this? No, but he can give the other kid a boost. So working together, a tale of two sons makes some sense. Let's go ahead and throw the rope. It's very odd the way this is working, though. To control both characters, it feels like they wanted co-op but couldn't figure it out or something. What am I doing? Like, he grabs one side, he grabs one side, can't walk forward, can't walk back, can't. This thing looks like a wheelbarrow. Maybe we need to be on the other side of it? It's a lot of wandering around with two characters. Let's, like... And he only grabs this side. And he only grabs this side. And... well, I can rotate the camera. Maybe this is what the trick is. Well, actually, I can't rotate the camera, really. Not a significant amount. See, they feel like they're doing something, but... oh, I've got to spin the right and left stick. Well, giving me exactly no direction there. That's bad tutorializing for a video game. particularly considering we're in the middle of the tutorial. Alright. Let's come back over here and grab and help.
Hey. Afia. Iya, iya.
So we get him to the doctor. All is well now, right? I mean, we just saw our mother die in a flashback. So surely our father will be fine.
Sabe. Mafi sadi abaya. Vida wade. Ada. Tai.
He's telling him he can't do anything. There's only one thing that can help him. It is what? Far away from their land? All this really is just a musical interlude, because they're not speaking any language, any real language. It's a cheap out, really. Particularly since there's no subtitles, like video options, no subtitles, audio options, no subtitles. It's a real cheap out to have voice actors or people who just program the game act as voice actors and talk gibberish and for long amounts of time. I could understand throwing in a few extra words every now and then to spice it up, but full on gibberish and then us having to learn through context clues what they want seems just like it's wasting everybody's time. Who's this guy? We're trying to talk to him.
Oda, when hadi?
So this guy's not gonna let me through. Either one of them. Like, here's a blocked path. Again, perfect example there. We had like no conversation.
Iya da. Tabi ana. Bisayen? Nai? Mata. Huh? Ah.
So the little boy is somewhat understandably afraid of water now that he saw his mother drown. Hold the trigger to interact. So he's only willing to hold on to his older brother, which is only gonna drown his older brother, really. I would think he should be old enough, he should know how to swim. So I would assume it's a pathological fear. It's like climb and climb. Up we go. Climbing that as two characters really goes to show just how repetitive making you do any game as two characters could be. It's literally doing the same thing over and over again. So he just crossed the bridge. This guy really wants to make it difficult on us for some reason. And just what a failure. What a failure of actually writing a story to have such just shallow reasonings. We get a little characterization there. Him kicking the let's see. Well, Like, he can climb up here. Fine. And he can hop. Can he hop? I don't think he can. And if I just let go, I fall. Well, how'd I get up that far? Oh, you have to let go and then grab again. Alright. Notice the screen now has to zoom out quite a bit to compare the two. Keep the two on screen. This is what I feel kind of like with the Lego games, except for the Lego games do a much better job about having an AI control the other player in co-op. Uh, it feels like there should be only one brother here the whole time. So far, the interaction has only been to help us get help the shorter one get up a high point where the other one couldn't. Uh, so often in games, you'll have some cooperation puzzles show up, but not the whole game. So we can now hold this to rotate? Well, we already knew that. Maybe we have to do both. We do. Wow, what a weird way, what a weird thing to force a tutorial on. Let's go have a seat. That's kind of like an Assassin's Creed style. Sit down, rest, get a serene picture of the area. So I think what we're trying to do is just get through this city. And we can't climb on the walls or anything, so do we just jump down? We've got some drums, and we've got some other things over here, so climb up here, this way. Just feels like it's so easy to whistle at a bird, okay. This is one of those early games with Xbox achievements too, so a lot of weird stuff will undoubtedly give me some kind of achievements. Which always really, even from the beginning, hurt video games. Because then they would just put ridiculous interactions in the game so you could try and get an achievement versus things that actually should have had time spent on, like making the games better or run smoother or maybe another rewrite on the story. This is a lot of climbing around buildings. That guy is still harassing us. Where's an adult when you need it? To go quit harassing those people. So the smaller one can squeeze through bars, and we've got these dogs. Big old dogs. And then I need to rotate this to let this little dog out to get him. That is way too big of a cage that you would need for a dog. But let's run back and see if we can free the other ones. Nope. Nothing can be done for this poor doggy. Let's see. So what happens if I did something along this lines? Would this work? Can we cage our brother? Let's see. Going the other direction, nothing happens. Going this direction, nothing happens. Sorry. regardless of whether you rotate clockwise or counterclockwise, you end up in the same. It just opens the gate and doesn't do anything else. And the promise of rotating the camera left and right is actually very limited. Nothing so far really wrong with the game. I just kind of question this control style, and the fact that we're not hearing actual dialogue. I mean, see, they knew the points where they wanted dialogue to happen, but chose not to voice it in anything recognizable. Of course, that saves quite a lot of money on translating the game if you're trying to go for an international release. This game will play as badly as far as conveying its dialogue in Spanish and as it does English, as it does Chinese, as it does Swahili. Aw. Pick up a cat and pet it. That's cute. These are the kind of interactions I would like in every game. He's not as much a cat person as the other. All these roses around, you'd think that maybe there was a collectible mini game at some point. So whenever he's just anywhere, he'll point, and this guy will not do anything if he's not near anything. So whichever way he's looking, he'll point in the direction we're supposed to go. Ah, that's nice. I kind of wish the game had told me about that. Yeah, let's both sit down. Sit them both down on a bench. That could be a Shadow of the Colossus style save, because that's what happened in Shadow of the Colossus, is you would sit on a bench and that would be your save. I always want to play as the more precocious younger kid, because this is an adventure game and that works better with the little kids. So I doubt the older kid would have done that. But whatever.
Anna, when Hadi?
So one of them woke him up, the other lowered the bridge. Nice. Now, because this is a shorter game, I'm not sure how far I really want to go. Really. We've been going about 23 minutes right now. Let's go a little bit longer, I guess, and see. See, I like the personality they're trying to put on here. Well, knows the older brother won't spit down the well. So you're gonna get the funny responses with the little kid first. He takes a broom and balances it. So I guess we're supposed to ask everybody?
Diana?
Whereas he just takes the broom and sweeps the dust on the ground. So why you're sweeping dust on the ground makes no sense, but okay. We're seeing different personalities. He sits here and he's rocking this old lady back and forth in a rocking chair. Can we do anything with the chickens? You can look at them. What do you do with the chickens? He looks at them too. Okay. I don't think any of the interactions we're doing right now really matter.
Ma, when hadi?
So she does know where to go. Hey, playing a little basketball. Take it. Toss. Come on. I want that. I wanna. Let's see. Take the ball. You can't pass it. But maybe he can make it. Really? I don't see how I can make a hole in... I was about to say hole in one. Made it. Here's your reblocker. Notice we could have sped up a little bit of time and taken the short way. This way. Or we can decide for the kid. He's slowing down as he gets further away from me, so there actually is a mechanism here that's stopping me from... Is that a skunk or a squirrel or what?
Da!
Isn't that a path that's blocked? Are these paths gonna be unblocked at some point? Let's ask this. Does he do the same action? Yes, he does. Don't do that, kids. For many, many reasons, don't do that.
Ona? Da, da, iya, iya.
Notice there's a red butterfly flying around. Here you can play in the leaves. Can't go through the leaves though. And notice this little bar here is needed to push this gate open. So we needed both brothers. So, we have not gotten that far, but through the tutorializing, there really, I don't think is gonna be too much until we start seeing too much. Restart checkpoint. No save game. No save option. It'll just automatically save. This is a shorter game, so yeah, we'll start getting into more of the meat and potatoes of the gameplay as we move forward, but that's a good tutorializing, and we'll see where the story is going to go. It's already started a little weird with a dying father and a dead mother, and two boys being allowed to apparently wander around an entire city and cause havoc. Anywho, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I end my recordings the same way. I ask you to like this video, I ask you to share it with your friends, I ask you to comment if you want to, and I ask you to watch every second of my videos because all that helps me out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Things like Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Tumblr. You can friend me on Steam, you can friend me on Battle.net. Also on my main YouTube page, which you can get to again by clicking on my name, you can find a playlist tab, and there's a playlist for every single game I've ever covered, so I'm sure there's something there that will catch your attention. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.